Hey, cheers. Welcome to a bonus episode of the Fireside Tattoo Podcast. I thought I would jump in front of this camera for a quick second and give you the what for, let you know why we're doing a bonus episode this week. So probably 8 months or more, 10 months ago, I started getting emails from a company called TattooSEO. And they weren't emails to me. They were actually, I was CC'd on emails where they were responding to people that wanted to get tattooed. And they went something like this. It would be something along the lines of, hey, so-and-so, thanks for reaching out. We recommend that you contact Jake Meeks in Memphis. He's close to you. He's doing similar work to what you're looking for. Here's a link to his portfolio and here's his contact information. Good luck. Let us know if you need anything else. And that was the end of it. And I actually ended up getting a couple of large-scale tattoos, 2 sleeves, off of those referrals. So I decided to reach out to TattooSEO and just find out who they were and what they were about, because I had never heard of them and I didn't know where they had gotten my contact information. So I did that, and that resulted in the interview that you're about to see. We sat down with Tony Sink of TattooSEO, and he told us who they are, what they do, and why they do it. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you guys, as always, for supporting what we do. And again, cheers. Hey, welcome to the Fireside Tattoo Podcast. We're jumping in and doing another Skype-style interview. This time we've got Tony from... Tony, I don't know why. I've seen your last name a dozen times, but I don't know what it is.
My last name?
Yes.
S-I-N-K.
Tony Sink. Okay. All right. I have seen that. Now that you say it, I can see it on our email exchange. So Tony is from TattooSEO, and I had a kind of unique experience with TattooSEO. I don't know, over the last 6 or 8 months, they have introduced a couple of big clients to me, a couple of big projects to me. I've ended up doing 2 sleeves that I know of that were direct referrals from you guys. And so I thought it might be a good opportunity to bring you guys on, talk a little bit about what you do, what value you bring to tattooers and to the client, and maybe how tattooers can work with you better, or get to know you and what you do, what they can do to participate. So tell just a little bit about what you guys do at TattooSEO.
Okay, I mean, essentially, we're an outlet for people that are researching tattoos. A lot of times it's tough to find information out there. So what we do is, whether you're looking for information on a type of tattoo, the meaning behind it, or just information on an artist, our goal is to make the best user experience for those people searching on the internet. And then on the artist side, we're just putting them in front of the customers looking for information on tattoo artists. So it's a great avenue for artists that aren't able to get a Yelp listing because they don't have a physical address themselves or something like that. So we're just we try to bring the two together.
So that's a prerequisite for Yelp or for some of the other listings, is having a physical address. And also, you guys are artist specific rather than like studio specific as well. Is that
we actually do both. We feel it benefits both, but it might benefit the artist a little more because of that. We kind of the artist can actually have their own listing up there. Like I said, because on Yelp you can't do that kind of stuff, and Yelp's a great product, but for the individual artist that doesn't have a brick and mortar location, this is a really good answer for them.
Yeah. So just a little bit about how it works. Say a client or someone's looking for a tattoo online. They're probably just Googling whatever, Rose Tattoos, Memphis, Tennessee, in my circumstance, or maybe full best artist in New Jersey or something like that. So how do you come into play whenever they type that into Google?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we're an SEO company. So we've been doing SEO for like 10 years. Okay? And then we got into the tattoo industry about 5 years ago. We're fans of it. We're not big tattoo guys, but we're fans of it. We like the fact that, younger business owners understanding the value of this. So, when you were saying when the customer searches?
Yeah. So, I mean, what are they, so you focus on SEO. So whenever they type something in, your specialty, not even tattoo specific, but your specialty is getting in front of them in a Google search or on or what other platforms? I mean, if they're searching Facebook, if they're searching anything else, is it search engine specific, or is it social media specific, or just how does it go?
So we do a lot of different things. Basically, to start, it's going to be anybody searching on Google and things like that. You're going to be searching, specific artists or art tattoo artist Chicago or Memphis. They're going to be searching rose tattoo meaning, or tree tattoo meaning, or whatever it may be. So we're kind of spread out there for people to land on in many different ways. So when they see us, the goal is to get them to come to the site, learn a little bit about it, and then potentially go look for artists on the site. So
So say they're looking for a large scale tattoo artist in Memphis. Someone wants a full sleeve.
Sure.
What are you doing to get them to an artist that does full sleeves and not a 2-year artist that has no business taking on a project outside?
Yeah,
that just happens to be online.
Yeah. So we actually have a team that goes through individual requests. So the person will ask us for a recommendation. And what we do is we manually go through and look for a good fit. So we try to make sure we're not just sending them off to somebody randomly. We try to make sure that it's going to be a good fit for the artist and for the person looking for the tattoo.
Yeah. And I can tell from experience, because you actually just got one in yesterday's email. I noticed another referral for a full sleeve. Someone was looking in Memphis for a black and gray wolf sleeve, and you guys sent it to me. And basically what you do is you respond directly. It's a very personal email. You respond directly to the person that's looking for the tattoo, and you say, hey, you should check out Jake's work. He does a lot of large scale work. I've CC'd him on this email. And then now that person has my information. You also link to some of my work that is specific to what they're looking for. And do you guys post, remind me, you're not linking just to my Instagram page. You guys have a few examples on a page on your site of local artists. Is that right?
Yeah. So what'll happen is, an artist, whether they sign up with us or not, they're going to have a listing on our site, which is going to include their address, their phone number, their, examples of like 4 or 5 different pictures. So before the referral process, if somebody just lands on the site, they're going to get to browse a little bit of your work. They can go into your social media site or pages. And so they start there. Then if they ask us for the recommendation, we start that process off with them and talking to them, seeing what they want, and then introducing them. We figure, we played a little bit with different ways of doing it, but we found the best way is to actually talk to them first, then forward it on. So you're kind of building this relationship and making sure they're not just, writing something and they're serious about it, at least as far as we can go.
Yeah, gotcha. So what kind of traffic do you get? How many people are ending up on your site on however you measure it, on a weekly or monthly or quarterly basis?
We're getting up to 300,000 views a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, whether they're just landing and moving on, but we get, we stay busy. It's growing every month. We're adding 20,000 words of content every month. So that's a big way that we're getting this traffic here. A lot of it's tattoo meaning, this kind of stuff. So, it all kind of goes together when, we put up a different blog post about a tattoo meaning, someone may be searching for that and then landing on it. So we're, like I said, we're at 300,000 views a month right now, but we're continually growing with the content that we're adding.
Wow. And for people who don't know, adding that content each month is what keeps you high in the,
right.
It keeps you easily searchable. It's constantly updating what's on the page.
Yeah, Google loves it. So we just try to do what they like. And
so talk a little bit about maybe specific way. Well, let me not glaze over this. People get a free listing no matter what. Like, I didn't even know when you guys first sent business to me. I had never heard of you. I didn't seek you out. You didn't seek me out. You just came across my work, kind of identified what type of work that I did, categorized it however, and then tried to send people my way that you thought that I fit well with. There was no money exchanged hands. There was no contractors, no anything like that. What are the different levels? So I know that that's possible. I know that you can just end up on your site just because. What is the value of stepping beyond that, of doing a paid subscription, or if there are paid subscriptions, what are they like, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So right now we have the free listing. Anybody can sign up for a free listing. So that's just, it helps the artist and it helps us. It's going to build content for the site, which in turn is going to bring more people in to be, for the artist to be seen. Right. And that's just the free listing. If you want to go beyond that, there's a $50 free featured listing, which is going to put you at the top, get you more images, and just, you're going to be the guy that they see every time they land on that page. So for $49.99, you get that package. And then we have another one on top of that, which is $199. And what that does, that's going to get you, all the referrals, you're going to probably see between 10 and 15 a month. You're getting featured. You're also getting a little bit of work on the back end with SEO on your website if you have one. And you're also going to get, we just launched a retargeting program. So what that means is when someone lands on the site, on the city site, they're going to be seeing your work as well. So wherever they go all over the internet.
Yeah. So guys, if you guys aren't super familiar with retargeting, if you've ever gone and looked at whatever, a pair of shoes that you're looking for online, and then you don't buy them, and then you notice they start popping up on your Facebook feed or popping up on your on all the pages that you are, those are retargeting ads, and they're just reminding you, hey, remember that you liked this thing. And so that's proven, I think, I'm not an advertiser, but that's proven to be pretty powerful. One of the most powerful types of advertising online, is it not?
Yeah, it just gets you in front of the customer even more, so they don't forget about you. They land there, and then, when they're browsing, as long as someone like Apple isn't paying more for the clicks,
right.
So we'll be right behind that, hopefully.
Yeah. And when you're showing, if someone's already shown some interest in your work and they're just thinking about it, if you're able to put that in front of them, that's not happening a lot in tattooing. It's happening with a lot of other bigger businesses and industries and products, but not in tattooing. So you would really, if you just decide to go that route, you would really be on the front edge of advertising, of online advertising in your community, for sure.
Yeah, and we just want to do everything we can to get the artist's name and their work out there. We're a smaller business like them, and there's kind of this back and forth and appreciation for it. We just want to make sure, we're doing everything we can for them and they're happy with the product. I mean, we don't do any contracts. So that's kind of the idea behind that is, so, if they're not happy with the work, we don't want to stay with them, or, we don't want them to feel like they have to stay with us or they're locked in. We want to provide, value to them. And, in kind of the same way, we just want to make sure we're doing all we can for them. If they're not happy, then we can part with,
Right, so. Right. And from the potential client standpoint, from the customer that's looking for a tattoo, there's no subscription or no pay model for them at all. It's a completely free tool for them just to do their own research, right?
Yeah, as far as people looking for tattoos?
Yeah.
They can just, they can jump on there, they can ask us for a recommendation, and we have guys that'll go through there and find someone that works for them.
Yeah. So say you've got a paid artist, someone that's paying for a premium subscription, or a premium, what do you call it? Not a subscription, a premium placement or
listing.
Premium listing. And you have people coming through looking for tattoos in that town. Just because they paid for that listing, you're not just funneling everyone to them. You're still making an effort to find people who are the best suited for that tattoo. Is that right? Or?
Yeah, that's right. So in that case, what we'll do is we'll ask an artist, what they prefer. The styles they like to work on, the styles they don't like to work on. And then, we note that and make sure that, we make sure there's a personal touch to it. We don't just want to funnel through everybody. And, we also don't send every lead we get, if it's just, a couple words and, they don't feel like they're really serious about the process, then we won't do that. So we really try to tailor it to, the style that the artist does and what they want to work on.
Yeah. And you're doing that all manually, huh? At this point, like you have people that are literally putting that in and trying to connect A and B to get people with the right artist. It's not an automated platform.
No, we're not automated at all. We're in there doing it ourselves. So, we don't want to risk the loss of quality by just finding some way to just push it right through. So, we want to make sure we're building this thing slowly. We've been doing it for a while now, and we didn't do it by shortcutting, you know what I mean? So we want to make sure it's a good product for everybody.
Yeah. When we were on the phone a couple of weeks ago just talking about potentially doing this show, I was driving down to a convention in Alabama, and you made an interesting comment that I would have never considered, but you're actually able to help promote, say, for traveling artists, people that maybe do a lot of guest spots, that do a lot of conventions and things like that. With those premium listings, are you able to target people in specific areas that someone may be traveling to for a period of time?
Yeah, so one nice feature that we do is that, and we've actually done this quite a few times, if one of our clients is traveling to a convention and they're going to let us know, say, hey, we're going to be in New Jersey or New York or something like that, then we'll create we'll make sure that whoever is looking for artwork or tattoos in that area, we're going to send them to that person, to that artist, if it's their style. Right. So it's nice because, it's also nice for the artist that moves around. We know artists move shops or they might go to another state. So it really works out well for those guys, because, there's a lot of talented artists that go to new states and they just don't have a client base yet, and they're just as talented as a lot of the locals there. We're a good way for those people to start off too.
Yeah. I think that's not something to glaze over at all. That's a really powerful kind of feature that you guys offer there, because it doesn't really matter. You can be extremely established in your hometown. If you go to a convention, you're really dependent on, there's a lot of travel expense. The booths now are sometimes $900, $1,000 just to rent a booth for a weekend. So you really need to make sure that you're tattooing while you're there. And if you can just have a little bit of an insurance policy to make sure that someone is coming through those doors to get tattooed by you, it makes that trip a lot easier to make, a lot more comfortable, and it makes it easier to justify coming off of that $900 for the booth.
Yeah, that's something we hope to mitigate a little bit of the cost there. So, it's a really cool thing. So, anytime someone's traveling, whether it be for a convention or just to a new state or new shop, just let us know and we can just set you up wherever you're at. So it's a real personal touch, when you sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you would do it just for that period of time, basically, right? Yeah. So if they're doing a guest spot for a week, you could basically target for maybe 2 or 3 weeks leading up to that, the week of, and then cut that target out at the end of that guest spot or end of that.
Yeah, absolutely. They just let us know the dates, and we'll start a couple weeks in advance to get the conversation going between the artist and the customer, and that way, hopefully, they at least get a couple, from us. We figure if the client gets a couple tattoos out of it, it's well worth it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that is something that's just included in that premium listing?
Yep.
Or gotcha.
Yep. Not the featured listing, not the $49.99, but the $199.
$199.
Where you're getting the referrals and everything like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned that some back-end SEO stuff for their personal websites is included in that. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Yeah. So I was just about to mention that. Included in that package, we're going to go in there and optimize your website for local searches. So, a lot of times, it's not really the job of the tattoo artist to really know how to do that kind of stuff. So we figure that's another added something we can add, to the package there. So what we'll do is we'll optimize them for local searches. We'll make sure we're giving advice on what to do. And we can even offer free advice if they're not quite ready for it yet, but we know a lot of them aren't really sure how it works on the back end, and we just want to make sure we're hitting it from every angle. So, when you sign up with us, you're going to get your website taken care of, your referrals, your social media, everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and one thing that we that we touch on a lot is focusing on what we do well, which hopefully, if you're a tattooer, is drawing pictures and putting solid ink and skin, and letting other people do what they do well, rather than trying to wear a ton of different hats. And now there are some younger tattooers that are great marketers, self-promoters, and are really savvy when it comes to that kind of stuff. If you're not one of those people, a couple $100 a month is, it's what, an hour and a half tattooing or something like that. So if you're willing to come off with an hour and a half of tattooing to get the type of clients that you want, and just to have a steady stream of clients, especially thinking about some of these really big tattoo towns, if you're in someplace like Austin, Texas, or Atlanta, or Denver, or these towns where there are just hundreds and hundreds of shops and you're struggling to set yourself apart, this seems like a no-brainer to me, to make sure that you're getting some kind of help like that. Talk real quickly about, so a lot of tattooers are trying to work towards a certain style. Like in my case, I'm trying to take on large scale projects exclusively. I'd like to just do sleeves and full backs and things like that. Can your site be used to kind of build a clientele in that direction? It seems real logical that you could go that way and just advertise the type of work that you would like to do, rather than just advertising, I'm a good tattooer in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, everything's customizable. If that's what you want to work on, just large scale pieces, send us the pictures. We'll make sure your whole listing features that. We'll make sure we're sending you those kind of referrals. We want this to be what the artist wants it to be. Whatever they want to get out of this, we're going to try to do that for them. Yeah. If they want to start working on a different style or practicing something else, we can do that too. Just let us know, and we'll mention it on their listing as well. And this way, people have an idea if they reach out on their own, but also we can send it off to them if we get someone asking us for a referral.
Yeah. So that's a great tool there, because obviously you want to be able to link people to actual tattoo work, to a tattoo portfolio that the artist has done. But if you're someone that's trying to get into portraiture, and maybe you don't have a ton of portraits under your belt yet, but you have some really nice drawings of whatever celebrity portraits that you would like to do, surely you could probably link to some available drawings, or if you want to kind of get someone interested in a style, you could include drawings in your portfolio as well, and not just tattoos. Or is that could people do that?
Yeah, we could do that. We can, generally we're going to link to some kind of social media page, but if you sign up with us and you have a website, maybe you create a page for your portrait tattoos, things that you want to do, we can definitely link to that. It's whatever you guys, whatever the artist needs us to do, we can do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Try. Yeah.
Right. And the simple version of that is very often people are including drawings that they want to do. They're posting on Instagram drawings that they would like to tattoo. So if you're just posting it on your Instagram and you guys can share the Instagram page, you'll get people to that, to those images that people would like to work on. So, so it seems to me that if you're, whatever you're trying to do, if you're traveling a lot, this seems like a great tool. If you live in a very competitive town, it seems like a great tool. If you'd like to gear yourself towards a specific type of tattooing, it seems like it'd be great for that too. And the free listing is free. It doesn't really, like I said originally, I didn't even know that I had a free listing. You guys just started sending business to me, which is awesome.
Yeah, we'll go out there and just find artists ourselves, but a lot of times people will ask us for a free listing, but if we just want to get more artists on the site, we'll just go out there and find them.
Yeah.
Eventually we figure that we'll either send them a referral or they'll find us, and whether they work with us or not, we start building this relationship.
Right. About how many cities are you in right now? Are you all over just in the U.S., I guess, for now? Or?
Yeah, we've got a couple international pages, but right now it's mostly aimed at the United States. I think we're in 50 different cities right now. Generally going down from the highest population.
Right.
So, and we continue to build out these cities as we go.
Yeah.
So that'll be growing as well.
Right. Yeah, I assume that if you're in Memphis, you're probably in a lot of bigger metropolitan areas than Memphis. So if you guys live in a bigger city, then you probably have an opportunity. Now, if someone is in a smaller town, are they able to reach out to you and say, "Hey, I'm in whatever a suburb of this city. Would you start a new city, or how do you categorize people if they were to come to you from towns that you're not in yet?"
Yeah, so a lot of times what we'll do is, say they're in a suburb of Atlanta or something like that. We'll actually send, we'll get all our Atlanta leads and still send them to there, because, to get the kind of work that I hope most people want to get, they're willing to travel a little bit for it. These suburbs aren't that far out there. So if you're in a smaller town outside of a big city, you'll still be put into that group, and we'll be targeting that city for you.
Yeah. So that's a great way to get into a city, into your nearest by city. So say, just because I know this area, say you're in Jackson, Tennessee, which is kind of right in between Nashville and Memphis, two big, cities with millions of people in them. You could probably just pick one that's closer, or you could maybe even advertise in both cities. I don't know
either one. If they're a client of ours, we can probably put them in both. As far as referrals go, we'll manually be seeing it and checking where these cities are. So, we have a lot of customers that are from pretty small towns that we may have not even heard of. So we're in there manually looking where these are. Okay, this is within an hour. We figure that's probably safe bet. So, if you're in between both, we could send them to wherever, is closest, or wherever the client is, or whatever it happens to be.
So if people want to reach out, what's the best way to find you?
Well, you can go to TattooSEO.com. That's probably the best way to. You can find us on Instagram, search TattooSEO, and same with Facebook. So we have avenues to reach out to us that way. And, we can get you set up with a free listing, or, we can go straight to, the feature listing or something like that. So.
Okay. And if they have questions, reaching out through social media is a good way to do it, or I'm sure there's a contact on.
Yeah, the website's probably the best way to go, TattooSEO.com. Any questions at all, just reach out to us. We don't, we're not going to sit there and, it's just a free listing, and you have questions about that, ask us. We'd be happy to help.
Awesome.
So we're just trying to help the community out, make this business something special and that works for us and works for the artists as well. And the people looking for tattoos, we want to make sure they're getting what they're looking for.
Yeah, it sounds like when it works right, it sounds like a win-win. Guys, I'd encourage you to at least check it out. Like I said, I've gotten a handful of pieces off of it already, and large-scale pieces that have really, that have paid well. So I'd encourage you to at least check it out. It seems to work for me. Hopefully it'll work for you guys too. Tony, thanks a lot, man. And
Thanks a lot,
and we'll talk soon. Thanks. You guys have a good one.